Hello and welcome, and in today's video we're gonna make this desk right here. Okay, so we needed a bigger desk in the filming space in the shop to have a computer and do design and CNC work. And first I was thinking about putting together something fast. You know, straight legs, a rectangular top, a quick desk with a boring look. But then I was thinking, you know, instead of building something basic and then waiting until I could find the time to build something nice, I might as well design something with a little bit more intention and make a nice desk now. To make it a little bit more interesting, I set a few rules. Rule number 1, only use 1 3/4 inch sheet of plywood. Rule number 2, only use one tool, the CNC. Although to be fair, if you wanted to build this desk without a CNC machine, you can simply use a jigsaw and a circular saw. You can still make it. Rule number 3, do it all in 24 hours. I guess the first thing when you build something is to figure out what it is that you need. In this case, a 60-inch wide, 28-inch deep, and 28-inch high desk with tapered legs and a rounded top that would look seamless and sleek. This was not really about exposed joinery. I would need glue and a few screws, but you wouldn't see any of that. And with those limits in mind, I used Vectric by Aspire and designed all the pieces on a 4x8 foot sheet. I wanted the pieces to fit together so that you wouldn't really need any instructions. It would be rather self-evident what you would need to do. I started with the legs, 5-inch wide at the top, 2-inch wide at the bottom. And I figured that if I doubled the legs up, that would make them 1.5 inches wide. And the back of the leg would fit the rail and the stretcher nicely, so the weight would lean on that. I also made the top more rounded in the front than in the back and added a hole near the back for a grommet, so wires could go through there and it would be nice and clean. Okay, so if you missed my last video, this is a 5x10 feet Avid CNC machine. Once I finished the Vectric file, I sent it over to Mach 4. And that program communicates with the CNC machine. Now let me show real quick what I'm using to hold down the plywood. This is a nail gun that uses composite nails. It works really well, and it's nice because if the bit were to hit one of these nails, it doesn't damage it. Also, it's not too hard to get the plywood off once you're done, and I've just been leaving the nails in the material because that seems to be the easiest way to go, and you can hardly notice them anyway. So just an easy way to secure the material onto the CNC. Now in terms of specs, I used a 1/4 inch upcut bit with a 1/4 inch shank. And using a feed speed of 40 inches per minute with a plunge cut of 10 inches per minute. However, once I realized how slow that was, I upped the speed considerably. And the whole thing took about 1.5 hours to cut. But when I was first creating this file, I wasn't thinking so much about the speed and the depth of cut. I was more concerned about getting the file right. But yeah, I could definitely have been slightly more aggressive with the speed and that. Now all the pieces are cut, so time to remove the tabs and see what we've got to work with. First step, glue the legs together. So there are 2 pieces cut for each leg, one of which has the area removed for the stretcher and the rail to fit into. So when gluing these together, I just wanted to make sure that I was gluing the right pieces together, you know, double checking the angle and the correct sides lining up and all that. And here I started to realize that the front rails really had no support, and they could easily get splayed out. What I really needed was some sort of bracket to further connect the leg with the railing to reinforce it a bit. So I found a little remaining space on the plywood sheet and added some brackets in the design file to connect the legs to the front rails underneath the top. So it's cutting a little bit faster. Then gluing these angled brackets to the back side of the legs made them invisible really and added a lot of strength. So I felt a lot better about the stability after I added these brackets on. But now I realized that the front and the back sections were strong laterally, but very weak from the back. So I went back to the remaining plywood and found space to add 2 short pieces of wood to connect the front and the back legs on both sides, just with pocket screws. This made a huge difference, and the whole thing had a lot of strength in all directions. The desk is now quite stable and sturdy, and part of this challenge was doing it in 24 hours. Basically taking the same amount of time that I would have used to build something basic and boring, whereas now I see no reason to upgrade it. It is beautiful the way it is. So I made a 1/4 scale model of the desk using 1/4 inch plywood. First of all, I thought it would be kind of neat to show how some of the connections kind of go together. And since you're using CNC, all you have to do is scale down the file and then cut it and then glue it together. So I thought that would be kind of neat to just try as well. Now, if you wanted to make this desk but you don't have a large CNC machine, there's a couple of things you could do. First of all, you could look if your local makerspace has one of these, and then you could bring the design file and a sheet of plywood and cut out all the pieces. Or maybe there is a local woodworker in your area that has a CNC machine that you could, work something out and go and cut the file out over there. Or if you don't want to use a CNC machine at all, you could mark out the pieces that needs to be cut and then just use a circular saw and a jigsaw to cut them all out. And I have a free plan that includes both the CNC file and a general plan for how to go about doing that, which is free for all of my patrons over $5. And for a finish for this desk here, just using some polyurethane, I put on like 2 coats to give it a little bit of protection. So let's do a little bit of a sum up of how this project, turned out. In terms of the machine, it cut really well, no issues there whatsoever, although I probably could have adjusted the feed speed and the depth of cut a little bit, even though I did adjust it as I was, working through the process. Although the one thing you do have to kind of think about when you make that adjustment is the dust collection has to be altered a little bit, because when I was moving the bit rather slowly, I had no issue with the dust collection at all, but then as I increased it, it didn't do as good a job picking up all the dust. But that's something that I'm kind of working on anyway, but it's just kind of an equation to keep in mind. In terms of the desk itself, it's been great. We've been using it for a couple of weeks now. It's been durable, no problem whatsoever. Since this was a 1 plywood challenge, when you're trying to stay within the confinements of that size, you're slightly limited in terms of, if you wanted to make a bigger desk or table using 1 sheet of plywood and using this design, you would have a hard time. This is, 60 inch by 28 inch wide, which is a decent size for a desk. And because of the splayed leg design here, that takes up a little bit more space on the plywood as well. And also becomes more of a challenge in terms of the weight on it. Splayed legs like that, have more of a tendency to go down, as opposed to if you're making a desk that has legs that go like this. But I think that the brackets that were made here, they really stiffened it up a lot, so no issues whatsoever. Now I have thought about a couple of alterations you could make if you wanted to add more strength, but they would require more plywood. So I think it's absolutely fine for this application, like for a desk. But if you were making it for more of a commercial environment, you know, a school or a co-working space, then maybe you would want to make some adjustments. Another thing I was thinking about, if I had no limitations at all in terms of material, what would be kind of neat would be to make the cut here with the rail and the legs one cut. Of course, if you did that, that's a big chunk, and you could only do one of those cuts per one sheet of plywood, and you would need 4 of those because you glue them together, so 2 for that leg and 2 for that leg, so you would need 4 sheets of plywood just for the legs alone, which is not really, you know, it takes up a lot of material, but it would be kind of a neat design. I am thinking about making a smaller version for kids, and in that situation I think I will be able to do that because then the size is so much smaller. So I mean, it's hard to beat using one sheet of plywood, but there's not as much material on one sheet of plywood as you might think, especially when you're making something with a relatively large top here. When I think about what a massive improvement this has made, you walk into that space now and it feels neat and clean and it looks nice, it looks modern, and it is just so much better. So if someone was to ask me, Linn, is this a design that I should consider? Should I make something like this for my desk? I would say yes, because it's been really, really good. It's durable, it looks nice, it was quick to make, and was $50 in material, so not too bad. Now, the one thing I would recommend if you were to make something like this, where the plywood is really in focus, is to choose a plywood that is of decent quality, something that looks good on both sides, because you are going to see both sides depending on, you know, how you turn things around. So use a decent quality plywood. You could of course use like Baltic birch or something, but then since those are 5x5 sheets, you would have to make some adjustments in terms of, you know, the design. So all in all, I'm really happy with the way this came out. I hope you enjoy the video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!